I'm a bit late to the party on this one, but I didn't watch Joker until a few weeks ago, so of course I am. I also couldn't really think of anything to actually say about it until now, but now that I have, let's talk about it. An interesting thing about the film is that near the start of it, after the subway killings, the media gets Arthur's profile incorrect. They assume that the murderer is a member of the working class who killed the three Wall Street boys because they were richer than he was. They also assume that he wore a clown mask because he was a coward and didn't want to be identified. But in reality, Arthur killed them out of self-defense, and he just happened to be wearing the clown makeup from his day job when he did so. However, near the end of the film, by the time Arthur kills Murray Franklin on the talk show, he has changed himself and his motivations to fit the profile that the media gave him. Now, in universe, I think this makes sense. We get to see Arthur changing throughout the film, and I think it makes sense that his character would do this, to change his motivation, to become the working class vigilante that everybody already thinks that he is. But a character that continues to kill people because of the media's incorrect profile of himself can understandably lead to a confusing theme. So today I would like to try and decipher what the film's theme is and what Arthur represents in the metatext. That is, try and decipher what the story is trying to say. Alright, let's get into it. So first, let's look at what everyone in the story, including Arthur himself, believes the Joker represents. This would be someone in the working class killing wealthier people in an act of rebellion against them and their system. Of course, the easiest way to prove or disprove this would be to look at the Joker's victimology, at all the people that he's killed. First, we have the murder that I've already talked about, the subway killing, in which the Joker kills 3 wealthy men. At first, this would seem to support the theme that I've suggested, but really their deaths had nothing to do with their class. The Joker didn't even know they were wealthy until after he killed them, and he only killed them because they were beating him up. So this doesn't really work with the theme. But that's fine, because this is his first crime, and it's possible that he just hasn't developed his signature yet. So let's keep going. His next victim is his mother, who is a poor single woman living with her son. She can't take care of herself and relies on her son because she can't afford to pay someone to look after her. This is demonstrated by the fact that she needs her son to give her a bath. In short, his mother is a lower class woman and there's no economical point in killing her. Thirdly, we have this guy, whose name I don't remember, so let's just call him Hollow Steve. So Hollow Steve works at Arthur's old job and isn't a manager or a boss or anything. He's just an employee, same as Arthur was. So they're both in the working class, and as such, there's no economical point in killing him either. But again, this could be fine, because he didn't kill either of them for economical reasons. He killed his mother in a cold, calculated fit of anger, and he killed Hollow Steve after making a split-second decision after being confronted by him. Again, maybe he's still developing his signature, and by the end of the film, he will be an accurate representation of this middle-class vigilante we've heard so much about. His next victim is Murray Franklin, a successful talk show host and someone that would have a bigger paycheck than our dear friend Arthur. However, Murray isn't much of an icon of wealth. You might say that Murray was just the best he could find, the richest person that he could get in the same room with for long enough, but we know that he was able to track down Thomas Wayne, the rich guy of Gotham, at a theater and have a conversation with him. If the Joker wanted to kill an icon of extreme wealth, he could have easily found Thomas Wayne again and shot him instead. But he didn't. Instead, he killed Murray. And what is Murray an icon of? Entertainment and communication. This is fitting because it goes in hand with the real reason the Joker killed him, which was to get the attention of the rioters, police, and media. Just like the subway killings, while the economical difference was there, it wasn't part of his motivation. Finally, he kills a nurse in Arkham Asylum, who is part of the working class, just like Joker, so there's no economical reason for killing her either. Alright, so let's rewind a few minutes and recap. Everyone in the film believes that the Joker killings are a way of sticking it to the man, a rebellion of the working class against the upper class. But if we look at his victimology, we can see that only 2 of the murders have a difference in class between the Joker and his victim, and even then, the class difference wasn't the primary motivation for the crime. The long and short of it is that the Joker does not represent any kind of class struggle in this film. So let's move on to something else he could represent, something that the film itself seems to be hinting a bit more towards. And that would be that the Joker represents the mentally ill and their struggle to be accepted and helped by society. The Joker, in particular, deciding to fight back and kill the people that he perceives as wronging him because of his condition. Almost immediately, this interpretation works a lot better. Let's take another look at his first crime, the subway killings. He killed these people because they were beating him up for laughing uncontrollably, and he was laughing uncontrollably because that's one of the symptoms of his disorder. So, although indirect, the subway killing was in large part due to the Joker fighting against people that saw him as lesser because of his mental illness. Moving on to the next crime that supports this idea, we have the death of Murray Franklin. While Murray himself wasn't part of the problem that the Joker was fighting against, the connection with Murray's death and this theme comes mostly from the Joker's speech that he gives and the joke that he tells before killing him, both of which are about being treated as less than human by a society that doesn't care about the mentally ill. Even his last victim, the nurse, supports this theme. In the mind of the Joker, he believes that the nurse sees herself as above him since she works at the asylum while the Joker is an inmate to it. Killing her, of course, is a rejection of this idea. But now let's look at the two other murders that I skipped over before. When the Joker killed Hollow Steve, it didn't necessarily go for or against our possible theme. Hollow Steve wasn't looking down on Joker for his mental illness or doing anything related to that at all. But if only one murder doesn't follow the theme, then that's still pretty good, right? Right? Well, it would be pretty good, but we still have one more murder to talk about. If it's been a minute since you've seen the film, let me explain the reason the Joker decided to kill his mother. Basically, he realizes that his mother was an abusive parent when he learns that she was partially responsible for the injury in his brain that caused his disorder. He kills her because he sees her as the source of his mental illness and by extension, the source of the discrimination against him. However, that isn't the whole story. She didn't give him the injury directly, her boyfriend did. Though she didn't stop him, so her crime against Arthur was simply being a neglectful parent. But she was only neglectful because she has schizophrenia. The way the film gives us this information paints the picture that the Joker killed her because she has schizophrenia. Obviously, that's just a bad thing in general, but for the purposes of this video, it's primarily a problem because it destroys our theme. If your film has a character that is seemingly supposed to represent mentally ill people fighting against unfair discrimination, and then that character kills someone for being mentally ill, then they're not a very good representation of that idea. So to recap, I do think that this is the film they were going for. They just didn't stick the landing. Honestly, it could have been really easy too. If his mother was a mentally healthy but still troubled person that directly gave Arthur his brain injury, then the theme would have been able to remain cohesive throughout the entire show. Just cut out the schizophrenia, cut out the abusive boyfriend, bada boom, bada bing, you've got yourself a cohesive theme. Closing thoughts on Joker? I still really liked it. It was a good film, and as I said earlier, I think all of this makes sense in the universe of the film, and all these problems that I've been talking about today are problems with the meta text, not the literal story. But that being said, if you disagree with me and have your own interpretation that I haven't thought of, then let me know in the comments.
This is kind of a last-minute addition to the video, but you guys want to know something crazy? In the last month or so, my channel has grown by 20 subscribers, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but considering that it took me like 3 years to get 80 subscribers, a jump like that is pretty significant. At the moment, I have 107 subscribers, so to everybody that's new here, thanks. I appreciate it. Wow, I'm really bad at this. Seriously though, everybody that subscribed, I'm really glad that you did. Yeah. It seems like you all came from the Biblically Accurate Angels video, which did a lot better than I was expecting it to. But hopefully you enjoy my other content, and hopefully you're getting what you came for. And of course, if you like my videos and you're not subscribed, then consider subscribing and ringing the bell to be notified whenever a new video comes out. Maybe even watch the last video that I made on this channel because nobody watched it. And until next time, don't die. Sayonara.